This morning, gray wolves were sighted in close proximity to Little Shasta Elementary School, forcing students to be kept inside for the duration of the day. And they say they anticipate it to be a continued issue. Thanks for joining us for Newswatch 12 at 5. I'm Oscar Rodriguez. The Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office says wolf activity has been reported in the Shasta Valley, including near Hovey Gulch Road, Harry Cash Road, and Soul Lane. Little Shasta Elementary says they're working with the Sheriff's Office and the County Wolf Liaison to monitor the situation and to make appropriate decisions. Siskiyou County deputies have been dispatched to monitor the area. The school says that the Siskiyou County Board of Supervisors has declared a local emergency due to the ongoing presence of the wolves. But Newswatch 12 has not yet been able to confirm the emergency with the county. We're continuing to track these wolf sightings and bring you the latest details as they become available. And the Bureau of Land Management has now reopened Lower Table Rock trails after completing the first phase of accessibility upgrades. This phase included grading, draining improvements, and the installation of a base layer of gravel. The trail is set to close again in late spring when it's warm enough to lay the final asphalt surface, expanding the safe and accessible trail options in Southern Oregon. A closer look at the trail upgrades can be found on kdrv.com. And more quiet December weather today, apart from some cloudy and foggy valleys. So let's check in with Storm Alert 12 Weather's 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman. Matt, how long will this weather last?
Well, we got a couple more days of fairly similar weather. Dry conditions, clear skies up in our higher elevations. Take a live look right now at the Crater Lake Visitor Center. It's December 12th and not even an inch of snow on the ground. 0-inch snow depth, and that now moves us to third latest in the season of seeing a snow depth at Crater Lake at 0 inches. So that beats 2008, December 11th. The latest is December 26th, 1976. But there are some changes on the way, and it looks like there's finally some snow in the forecast for Crater Lake next week. In the meantime, more very similar weather to what we saw yesterday. We have the clouds socked in Medford, but the clouds did break a bit to end the day in Grants Pass, and that is a sign of what's to come as we go through the weekend. Clouds and fog should become less stubborn through the weekend. Now, much of the day will likely be cloudy in the Rogue Valley, but at least we'll get more sunshine breaks developing and a bit quicker as we go through your Saturday and Sunday. Visibility down to a quarter mile in the Shasta Valley. Very foggy if you're traveling I-5 through Yreka. That visibility is near 0 right now, so give yourself some extra time heading through portions of Siskiyou County. And it is cold with that fog that has been trapped there all day. 34 degrees in Montague. Ahead of a weak storm system Sunday with winds picking up, that'll be another thing that's going to help usher out some of these clouds and fog in some of our west side valleys. Temperatures chilling down right now in the basin. We're down to 39 degrees in Klamath Falls. It's going to be another cold night tonight in the 50s right now along the coast. Tonight we'll drop down to about 44 degrees in Brookings, 35 in Medford, down to 29 degrees in Yreka, and then falling into the teens in the basin. Tomorrow, kind of similar to today, but I think we'll see more breaks of sunshine developing in our west side valleys, and then tracking the return of pretty widespread precipitation and several storm systems for next week. I'll have more details on that big change in our weather coming up in just a bit. Oscar?
Thank you, Matt. And as the Josephine County Board of Commissioners continue to face the vacancy left on the board, no significant progress has been made in appointing a new board member. Commissioners were set to meet for a general discussion this morning, but Commissioner Ron Smith did not show up. Legally, no deliberation or decision can be made without more than one commissioner present. Commissioner Chris Barnett proceeded to use the time for informational purposes and to ask legal counsel questions about Smith's unofficial recusal from the appointment process.
But the statute does not let a public official choose to recuse simply because they don't want to vote. They can only recuse themselves when they have an actual conflict of interest. A potential conflict of interest as defined under state ethics law, and that's where legal counsel and myself, you go to the statute and you can read it yourself.
As I mentioned at the very beginning, all the statutes need to be viewed in light of the full powers of the board to act in the best interests of Josephine County.
Okay.
Commissioner Barnett also tried to address the rumors of a temporary board to appoint a new commissioner and the possibility of the governor appointing a board member. But legal counsel said that the statutes are still under review. Further discussion of filling the board vacancy will be on future agendas when both commissioners can be present. And the U.S. House of Representatives just passed the Forest Protection and Wildland Firefighter Safety Act, which is part of a longer reform package, the Permit Pact. Introduced by Congressman Doug LaMalfa, the bill addresses a 2023 court ruling that imposed extra restrictions on using an aerial fire retardant. The bill aims to ensure aerial fire retardants and remains available without lengthy permitting delays under the Clean Water Act, building on existing exemptions for firefighting activities.
Water Act already recognizes the difference between fighting fires and causing pollution. My bill ensures that the aerial fire retardant, which is already subject to strict Forest Service rules, is treated the same way as runoff from other fire control activities, so our firefighters aren't stuck waiting on paperwork, permit approvals when lives and towns are in harm's way.
The bill says the fire agencies do not need a national pollutant discharge elimination system permit. In order to use fire retardant from aircrafts during wildfires, getting a permit could take years, forcing fire crews to operate without retardant, which could endanger lives and property. All of our ski areas are still waiting on snow, forcing delays to their opening days. When I visited Mount Shasta in late October, the slopes were bare, and even now they look pretty much the same. But despite the dry conditions, Mount Shasta says they're prepped, ready, and just waiting for Mother Nature to flip the switch on the snowfall.
Everyone's ready. We will not be caught off guard when the snow does fall. We are poised to be open as soon as the snow arrives. So that's kind of what we're just waiting on at this point.
The last time they saw any snow was in early November, about 6 inches at the base, but it melted quickly because of the warm weather. Although Mount Shasta hasn't opened yet, their seasonal management staff is at the ski park already, but still waiting to bring in their full staff. And despite the snow, the Mount Shasta ski park team is making most of this weather, ensuring that their lifts are running smoothly this winter season. Mount Shasta Marketing Director Grace Hornbeek says even with the late start, it won't determine how their ski season plays out.
As someone who absolutely loves skiing, that's why I do what I do. It's a bummer. But you know, it's not unusual. It's not going to define our season.
However, many people are questioning why doesn't the ski park use snowmaking?
Just because it hits freezing temperatures at some point in the night doesn't mean we are able to make snow.
Hornbeek says snowmaking needs to be successful and viable is longer durations of much colder temperatures.
We need to see those longer durations of cold temperatures continuing, because if we blow snow, a bunch of snow, and then we have a week of really warm weather or rain, even worse, it could get rid of all of the snow that we just made, and then that's a resource that we no longer have.
But it's not just Mount Shasta, as several other ski areas are announcing on social media that they're moving their targeted opening day.
But if you look across the West, not a lot of resorts are open yet. So while I would love to see more open, it definitely takes the sting out to know that we're all in it together.
With the lack of snow, Mount Shasta says they will still have events scheduled as planned with or without snow. Tomorrow, citizens throughout the country will be participating in the National Wreaths Across America Day. Volunteers and members of the Civil Air Patrol are prepping for the annual ceremony at the Eagle Point National Cemetery, where thousands of wreaths will be placed to honor fallen service members. We spoke with a 32-year U.S. Marine Corps veteran who shared his thoughts on the effort.
Come out for honoring those who fell before me. Thousands of grave sites here. And this is just a part of Eagle Point National Cemetery. But it's really living up to your obligations and honoring those who went before you.
The only reserve wreath that was not placed today belongs to S1C Warren Clayton Gillette, who was killed in action aboard the USS Oklahoma during the attack on Pearl Harbor. His wreath will be presented tomorrow. And Oregon is topping the nation with not one, but 3 small towns voted among the most Hallmark Christmas ready in America. And the top 2 are right here in Southern Oregon. Newswatch told Samantha Cadera shows us why Jacksonville and Ashland feel like stepping straight into a Hallmark movie.
As we continue our Christmas countdown, many of us might want to know what it feels like to be part of one of those iconic Hallmark movies. Well, here in Southern Oregon, we have 2 towns that it actually makes it a reality, either here in Jacksonville or in Ashland. And I spoke to the people who really help make that magic come to life.
Light up the magic! The trolley, the parade, the tree lighting, those are, a lot of highlights this time of year. A lot of people are home from school and getting together with family, so I think, that's probably a favorite time of year.
Both towns glow this time of year, from Jacksonville's brick-lined streets to Ashland's fully illuminated downtown. A national survey ranked Jacksonville #1 in Oregon, with Ashland right behind.
The lights, the garland, the old architecture of the town, it's just got that homey, fun little feeling.
And it's not just the decorations. Jacksonville's famous trolley rides, which sold out more than 5,800 tickets this year, help power the holiday season.
We love the locals, we love the tourists, we love everybody. We wave at the trolley. We love local business, and we're so happy that people come here and share this wonderful place.
And meanwhile in Ashland, the town's decades-long Festival of Light tradition continues to draw holiday visitors from across the country.
I think they want to feel that magic. They want to be able to stroll downtown. They want to have a cup of coffee or a peppermint mocha and go shopping underneath the lights. They want to experience really the magic of what it is to be in a cute, wonderful town like ours, especially when it's decorated for the holidays.
Whether it's a stroll through Ashland or a trolley ride through Jacksonville, both towns deliver that Hallmark feeling. In Jacksonville, I'm Samantha Cadera.